understand my ups and downs. There you were, with sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I want to stop and thank you, baby.
I just love bananas.
One of the reasons that I love Papa is because he's very kind and easy to talk to, and every time we go visit him or FaceTime him, he always has an interesting story to tell or some advice to give us.
The most wonderful quality that I love about Grandma Bubbles is that she is so service oriented. And I remember years and years ago, we had nannies from all over the West Coast, and they asked Mother if she would be the Relief Society president of there must have been literally 50 to 70 women in the young girls in this ward. So Mother, of course, she said she would take the job and do the job and the service necessary, but it was overwhelming. And Mother learned to deal with the girls and love the women. And I saw her doing that, and that just made me feel so tender, in my heart. I just thought she was the best.
Ooh, this is tasty. Rich.
Hey, Grandma and Grandpa. One thing I love about Grandpa is how supportive he is about the life of Jake's adventures in business and just my life, school. And something I love about Grandma is getting all of her emails, letters, newspapers, you name it. And of course, the fruities and egg salad sandwiches. Love you guys.
My favorite thing about Grandpa is that he always makes sure that everybody matters and talks to everyone and makes sure everybody's included.
Hey, Mom, Grandma, Mombles, President. It was hard sometimes being the youngest child, but of course you made it easier with a steady stream of things that I liked. Burger bundles, chicken and tortilla, fruities, and my personal favorite, banana bread, lots and lots of banana bread. I think what embarrassed me a little bit when I was a kid was when you would be at one of my sporting events and I would hear you above the chorus of dozens of other parents scream my name, "Go Craig," or "Nice job, Craig," or "Go get him, Craig," followed by kind of an incredibly high-pitched, though perfectly in tune, scream. But it speaks to your passion, to which you've consistently backed all of your children and your grandchildren. You would do anything, go anywhere, make anything, sacrifice anything to help us out. And that speaks to who you are and who you are at your core, which is the advocate with a capital A for the Bench family. I love you. We love you. You're the best, Mom.
Grandma and Grandpa, I just wanted to list a few things that I love about you. Grandma, let's start with you. Grandma, you're always so loving, generous, and kind, and you've always been my little cheerleader. Grandpa, what I love about you is you're always knowledgeable. You always can give me tips on school and business, and I love it. I love you guys.
I definitely say that my favorite quality of Grandpa's is that he's always very cheerful. He doesn't let anything that comes his way get him down. I remember when we were in the city all together with the Connecticut benches, and one of the restaurants was closed, and he was just like, "No problem, let's go to another one." And the next one was closed. So we had to go to the next one. And again, he was just he rolled with the punches. He made lemonade out of lemons, and that's what I love about Grandpa the most.
Grandma is always musical, and I love how whenever we come over, she always makes cinnamon rolls, and we always get a treat for cinnamon rolls. I love you, Grandma.
So I have great memories of being a kid, and every morning on my birthday coming downstairs onto the refrigerator and looking at all the cool pictures of myself as a little girl, and just thinking that was the most fun thing, that we had all these funny pictures of me as a kid, wearing my red Keds and tights and my jumpers. And another thing that I've always loved in every house that my parents have ever lived in and that my mom has decorated beautifully, so we've always had this wall of family pictures that always morphs a little bit but is essentially the same. And all those pictures of us with braces and glasses in high school and stripy pajamas when we were little, and modeling and toothless pictures that Dad took in black and white. And I love how Mom always made sure that our home felt like a place where we were the center of it, and we knew that from day one.
Mark, you equal fun. We all know it. We all have the best time around you at all times. And you also just love everyone and are always genuinely interested in people. It doesn't matter if it's that person on the street, that person on Metro North, or if it's the person in your office or your family. You are genuinely interested in everyone. You are definitely my handyman. I would sing the James Taylor song for you, but I don't really sing very well. I love that you are in constant pursuit of the very best vanilla ice cream on the planet. And I'm going to say Tillamook, possibly for the win. I know you love Trader Joe's too. And you are the best father-in-law a girl could ever ask for. And I love you so much.
I love Grandma because she's always making me treats. She thinks they're for the kids, but they're really for me.
So what I really like about Grandpa is how he's always really energetic and fun, and he makes a lot of jokes, and he always makes us laugh, and he tries to have the best time he can.
I love Grandma because she always has something for us, whether it's a good story from her childhood or advice on something that we are going through, or her cinnamon rolls or baked goods. I'm so thankful for her and all that she has done. She's really caring, and she loves all her grandchildren so much and is willing to go out of her comfort zone to help us and make sure that we are happy and are having a good time. I love you, Grandma, so much.
Hey, Dad, I'm so grateful to be able to say a few things that I love about you. When I think about you, I think about your kindness, your even-temperedness, your patience with me, even when I was a knucklehead young teenager. You were the greatest teacher. You were a giver of wisdom. You're somebody who, rather than got up and told me what to do, you would ask me questions to make me think about my questions to you, or about anything that we were talking about. You're a great example of kindness to me in that way. You taught me how to work. You gave me a lawn boy green lawnmower and unleashed me on the world, and I was able to, thanks to you and to Mom, I was able to make a pretty good business out of it. To this day, I can't go by a place and smell freshly cut grass and not think of how you taught me how to work and clean up and put the tools away. Of course, your fun and enthusiasm is something that always puts people at ease and helps people to feel comfortable. And I've obviously tried to adopt that same approach in life. I love the fact that you have true love for others. I don't think you'd survive well in a world with other human beings. You enjoy talking with people and finding out other things about people. You really love and care about people as the Savior does. And you've always been a great example of Christ-like service in and out of the church, in our neighborhood and community. I love you for so many things. I wish I had more time, and love that you're my dad, and I'm so grateful for you.
I like when Grandma gasps when she sees my toy dog. I really want her to get used to the real dog and be happy. Yeah.
One of my favorite stories about Mark Bench was when Emily and I were dating, and I was going up to Scarsdale on the train to meet Mark and Dorothy for the first time. And we were on the train and we're laughing and having a good time. And all of a sudden there's this man that comes over to Emily and says, "Buenos dias, mija," and starts talking to her, and the way that she looked over at him, I wasn't quite sure who it was, but then all of a sudden I realized that's the way a daughter looks over at her dad, and I realized I was with the famous Mark Bench.
Dorothy is the ultimate Uno champion. One of my favorite things about Dorothy is her competitiveness. I love when she gets feisty playing Uno or card games or watching any sport, especially if her children or her grandchildren are involved. She's the fan that you want rooting for you. She supports her people and cheers them on. She's generous with everything, with her time, with her thoughtful notes, with her beloved baked goods. And we're so grateful that she is such a huge part of our family. We love you, Dorothy.
That's not half as bad as I thought it would be. Then again, I didn't think it would be.
Oh, now that's a beautiful face. And the baby's cute too.
You're a falling star, you're the getaway car, you're the line in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool on an August day, and you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it coy, but it's kinda cute. Oh, when you smile at me, you know exactly what you do. Baby, don't pretend that you don't know it's true, 'cause you can see it when I look at you. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing. Your every line, your every word, your everything. You're a carousel, you're a wishing well, and you light me up when you ring my bell. You're a mystery, you're from outer space, you're every minute of my everyday. And I can't believe that I'm your man, and I get to kiss you, baby, just because I can. Whatever comes our way, I will see it through, and you know that's what all love can do. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing. Your every line, your every word, your everything.
I love Papa because he gives me toys, like an orange platypus. Oh, I'm tired.
Hey, Grandma and Grandpa. Here are some things that describe you pretty well. Grandma, you have such a bubbly personality. Grandpa, you are probably one of the kindest people I've ever met in my entire life. Love you. Have a great day.
One of the reasons that I love Grandma is because she's very selfless. She shows us by giving amazing gifts to her children and grandchildren, but more importantly, by serving in the temple for quite a few years.
Who'da thunk?
And as for Pop-Pop, he makes me laugh. I love his sense of humor. We're on the same wavelength with our humor. And Pop-Pop is my laughter medicine.
Something I love about Grandma is her egg salad sandwiches, and I remember going to the store one time and getting one and being very disappointed and realizing that my grandma was great at making them. Grandma is also an amazing pianist. She makes all of my flute songs sound so much better.
Hey, Pops, Papa, Grandpa, Gramps, Mayor, President, Patriarch. We don't say patriarch anymore. We just say brother. Kidding. From the minute you introduced me to my first shreds of sharp cheddar cheese, I knew we were going to be kindred spirits, and several blocks of cheese later, thankfully fewer of the mild cheddar frozen variety. I want to thank you for introducing me to things like red onion and, crisp bacon. It's got to be crisp. Send it back. It's not crisp enough. Burger Heaven lemonade, which is some of my favorite lemonade on the planet. And of course, dark chocolate. My family also doesn't thank you for some of the digestive issues, which you've also passed along to me. Thank you very little, but we won't focus on that right now. Your influence, obviously, Pops, on the entire Bench family spans far beyond the palate, but like Mom, who was a staunch defender and servant of those who were less fortunate in the Westchester ward for years, your years of service love for others, particularly the really disadvantaged, the poor, other minority groups, is really what motivates me to be a more loving, devoted follower of Jesus Christ every day. Long before any Life Matters movements began, you were an early adopter in the advocacy for those less fortunate than you and in need of a helping hand. And again, that is what has really stood out to me about your life and your service of others, is how you watched over for those who couldn't watch over themselves. I love you, Pops. You're the best. You're a bastion of positivity in a world of increasing negativity, and that's one of the reasons you're going to leave such a powerful legacy. Love you, Pops.
I'd say my favorite memory of Grandma is when she would come to our house, whether it was in France or in Arlington, and we would always play Scrabble together. And it would always be really fun because we would just spend a good 20 minutes there thinking of words to put down. And it was always fun to try and outwit each other. And that's what I love most about Grandma, is that she's smart and intelligent and that she knows how to work her way around with words. So
Papa always has a story to tell, and he's always there to make us laugh and smile about the story. I love you, Papa.
So I'm planning this brunch for Marianne Mata or Celeste Blanchard. And I think I'm just gonna have to do a muffin and some fruit, and that's just gonna have to be fine. Maybe some fruities and my little pecan sandies. It'll be tasty and rich, and that'll just have to be fun.
Hi, Dorothy. You are truly smashing. I've always loved your use for that word, and you really are smashing from the inside out. You were definitely the most gorgeous person at that reunion that you went to for high school, I'm sure. I remember Beta telling me all about the white tornado, the Westchester white tornado. You are known across the world as the most efficient cleaner on the block. I also have seen how observant you are and how much you notice people and their actions, and you're very intuitive on knowing how to help people. You are a totally fierce competitor. You probably are the reason that Maddie used to rage quit. Just kidding. And you are literally so fast at everything. And it's obvious that you would do anything for anyone, especially for your grandchildren. We can all feel your love, and I love you for that.
I love Papa because he's always making me... he's always making me toys that I like to ruin and throw around the house. I'm so tough. Sometimes I don't know why I'm so strong. I'm so strong.
What I like about Grandma is how she's really competitive in Uno and lots of fun games, and how she's always really excited to see us, and she always brings some cool gifts, and it's really fun to catch up on what we've missed.
I love Papa because he's very kind and has a great sense of humor. Some of my most favorite memories of Papa are from our quarantine FaceTimes and just going over our weeks and hearing all your funny stories about walking too far to get sugar-free ice cream and all our fun times. I also love Papa has helped me a lot with my Spanish class, and a lot of my good grades in Spanish are because of Papa and his good advice and feedback. I'm thankful that Papa, he helps so many people who need it, and he has helped people in the past outside of our family and in our family. And I'm thankful that I can have a caring grandfather to look up to. I love you, Papa.
Hi, Mom. So glad to be able to share a few things that I love about you. The first is that you are the greatest sports fan in the world, especially to our family, particularly of all things BYU sports. And I love that you carried that torch for us in our home. I think another thing that I love about you is that you are the musical genius that rules our family in terms of music. And people would say, hey, well, my family, we do this, we do that. I have somebody who does this and does that. And I say, yeah, but can your mom transpose music on the fly? Or does your mom have perfect pitch? Mine does. So I love that about you. And I loved having our home filled with piano music. And it's something I remember fondly. Another thing that I love about you is your compassion towards others. I don't think that a week went by when there wasn't some kind of project that you were working on with friends or sisters in the ward to help others along the way. And I know you did it with kindness and desire to to serve others and serve as the Savior did. You were so generous with us over the years and with those around you, whether it was resources, time, care, worry. I love how you love others so much and how you desire to help them in every way. One of your great sayings is, do the best you can do, that's all you can do. And I think it's something that I've tried to adopt in my own life is do the project the very best you can and let the chips fall where they may. And I love your example in every way of kindness and generosity and love for others. And so grateful that you're my mom. Love you, Mom.
So Vera, tell us one thing that you like about Grandpa.
I like showing him around. I like reading books with him. I like when he lies on the couch, and when he put just a gentle finger on him, he wakes up.
When he's napping on the couch?
Uh-huh.
So fun.
I love Grandma because she's generous with their cinnamon rolls.
So I have tons of great stories about my parents, but one that I remember about my dad is when I was in high school, and I think my mom was traveling, I don't remember where, and I had a piano recital. And I just had a big growth spurt, and I was doing lots of sports, and I didn't really have a dress or an outfit to wear. And so Dad shuffled me into the car, and we went to Laura Ashley, which was about the coolest thing on the planet at that time in the 80s. And we went and we got this pretty floral dress from Laura Ashley, and I felt like an absolute movie star. And I felt so confident going into that recital and totally ready to roll. And I think I wore that dress to every special occasion for probably 2 or 3 years after that to make sure we got our wear per cost ratio down right. But it was one of those moments where he just really knew what I needed to feel confident and excited. And it was a great dress. We have lots of pictures of me in that floral dress. And it was just a fun daddy-daughter memory that I'll always remember.
Hey, Grandma and Grandpa, I love you both so much. Grandma, I especially love you for, I love your nickname, Grandma Bubbles, and I'd like to thank you for taking me to the Spy Museum in New York when we went last year. It was a real blast, and I loved figuring cool mazes and coding out. It was really fun. And Grandpa, I love you so much because you bought me those awesome basketball shoes that have crossed up my friends with and broken their ankles. Not literally, but figuratively, I basically broken their ankles. And I'd like to thank you for taking me to the tallest Chick-fil-A building in the world. And I love you both so much. You both are super generous, and I'm glad to have you in my life. Love you.
I'm always in awe of Mark's persistent positivity. He has the gift of seeing the best in people, and he truly makes people feel like they are the best. Thank you for creating a family foundation of love, hard work, and most importantly, cultivating a love of good cheese. We love you.
One of my favorite stories of Dorothy was when she was visiting me and Emily in Armenia, and we had gone to church, and all the things that come with going to church in Armenia, a very different circumstance, different people, and in this case, Dorothy didn't speak any of the language, and my sweet mother-in-law, after one of the talks that she couldn't understand any of, went up to one of the sisters and grabbed her hand and looked at her and communicated with her. And I will always remember that moment as one of those when I thought, this is a woman who knows what it means to be a sister.
Who has the clicker?
Are you through?
I only eat dark chocolate.
I love bananas.
I'm gonna need a lot more butter.
Your love lifted me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. Disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and he soon departed. And you know he never showed his face again. That's why your love keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. All right.
One of my favorite stories and memories of Mark and Dorothy was the first time, and this would have been in their house on Garden Road in Scarsdale, when I heard Dorothy sing and play the piano for the first time, and Mark was in the room looking over at her. And I'd already known them a little bit, and I'd visited a couple of times, but I remember them looking at each other in that moment and feeling like I'd kind of met them for the first time. And that's one of my favorite memories. I'll always remember that moment.
One thing I love about my parents is that they are always looking out for the underdog. They do a lot of service for people who have no way to say thank you or pay them back. And I think sometimes that's the harder service to do, is to serve someone who's not as easy to love, or who isn't always a pleasure to serve. They are constantly on the lookout for people who are really in need and who have things kind of tough, and who other people might not enjoy serving. And that's a lesson I think is really important. Sometimes it's really easy to serve the fun families with the cute kids, and not always as easy to serve the people who are lonely or struggling or have a lot of problems that prevent them from operating smoothly in life. And my parents are really good at loving and serving those people. It's a gift that they have, and they don't get a lot of compliments or praise for that, but I know that they're doing it and that they've been rendering that kind of service for decades, and that Heavenly Father is sure grateful that they're around.
I've waited for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me. Oh, I'm so glad he found me in time, and I'm so